I recently bought a little pile of 12-inch Maxi singles from a seller, and I have to say, as an old stamp collector, that I really enjoyed this seller. He used stamps going back as far as 1973 to pay for this shipment, which is allowed in Norway. Use any stamp you want, as long as it's unused. It can go back as far as 100 years for that matter. And here's the first one. This is the Reflex by Duran Duran, of course. First heard on the Seven and the Ragged Tiger album from late 1983. One of my favorite albums back in the day, and I studied it for months trying to figure out how they did everything. And this is where 12-inch Maxi singles really came through for me. They often had sections of the song broken down in terms of the arrangement. You could hear more clearly what the bass did, what the drums did, keyboard parts, guitar parts, vocal parts, harmonies. So these were a big help to me back in the day trying to figure out, things about music. Technical stuff as well as musical stuff. So that was the Reflex. Here's another favorite of mine. And again, a great 12-inch. Now, Bowie did make another version of Putting Out Fire for his 1985 Let's Dance album, but I think this 1982 original version from the movie Cat People, produced by Giorgio Moroder, is by far the best one. And here is my favorite Human League single, Life on Your Own. A very interesting backstory to that one, but on the 12-inch there's another interesting thing, and that is that the organ/synth part in the beginning has more decay, it's more reverby than on the regular 7-inch single release. Here's a little bit of Lindrum at first. And rumors has it that they used 2 months just to program the Lindrum for this back in the day and spent thousands of pounds doing it. Don't know if it's true. Here comes the organ part. You can clearly hear the decay on the sound. Maybe it's part of the sound itself or it's the reverb, I don't know. This vinyl is totally messed up, of course, but you get the idea. Here's the single version, and check out the organ synth part now. It has a very short decay release, and it sounds much drier and better, in my opinion, so there's a really big difference there. Again, first a little bit of bass and the drums. I'm talking so the YouTube algorithm won't shut me down. I have to say I like the 7-inch mix a lot better than the 12-inch, but it's nice to have both in my collection, although this particular vinyl copy is almost unplayable. Here's another one I've wanted for a long time, the 12-inch of One Moment in Time, Whitney Houston from 1988, and the Olympics in Seoul, Korea. And here's an absolute banger, Relight My Fire, Dan Hartman. And if anyone is thinking, I've heard this one before, but not in this version, you're totally right. Take That had a hit with this many years later, but this is of course the 1979 original with and by Dan Hartman, and I think this was on the Billboard chart lists, the dance chart lists, for several weeks, and it still rocks. I would not be surprised to hear if Bruno Mars has taken some inspiration from Dan Hartman in terms of vocal styling. Maybe he has, unbeknownst to me. If you have intel on that, please let me know in the comments. I'm not that familiar with Bruno Mars, but I think their voices can sound pretty similar at times. And the last one in this little pile of 12 inches is this copy of The Word Girl with Scritti Politti from their album Cupid and Psyche 85 from 1985, an album I listened to a lot in 1985. And the production value here was absolutely stellar in terms of tech back in 1984-85. You can read back on that if you want to. I even have a video about some of the production of this album. Lots of Yamaha DX sounds on this album and on this song, and sections are really broken down here, so you can really learn something from playing this 12-inch. And of course, Green Gartside has a really characteristic voice. No one sounded like him back in the day. He still has it. Well, this was a little pile of 12 inches recently sent to me. If you like this type of video and would like to have me doing more videos where I sit down and talk about my favorite 7 inches or 12 inches and play a little bit and talk about it, I'd be happy to do more. Let me know in the comments if you do want me to do that. As always, I'm Espen Kraft. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!